Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Justin here, your Empowered Minds coach. And in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about something that has affected me greatly. And it's how to overcome loneliness and carry on with your life. And it's something that we all face eventually. And it's learning to live with it in a calm and effective way, which is the key to a happier, more successful life. So what do you do when it feels as though no one wants to talk to you or be with you and you feel like you're all by yourself on this world? I mean, what do you do when the feelings of loneliness become so unbearable that you feel like you're falling apart and feels like you want to disappear? Well, stick around and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do. Okay, so today I'm going to give you 3 strategies that have helped me overcome these times in my life when I was tested to the max, especially after going through a divorce a few years ago, losing everything. I lost my house, my kids, my everything. And the first point I want to cover is accepting where you are with assurance, with reassurance, and knowing just that you've got to accept it. There's no point fighting it. And the second point is about building strength and resilience. And the third point I want to cover is envisioning a new future with meaning. Okay, so in the first topic, accepting where you are. There's no use fighting it. For me, it was accepting and embracing the fact that it's all a part of life. Even if it feels so painful at the time, remember that this happens and it happens for a reason. And it's at these times that we must dig deep and learn to let go, to stop the resistance that we feel, release the sadness. You've got to go through that stage of life, yes, through that stage when you're by yourself. You'll let go of regret and to live in the present moment. Stop focusing on the past. That'll cause depression. Stop focusing on in the future, what may happen, because that causes anxiety. When I first went through a divorce, I found myself in an apartment all alone without my kids. And at the time, it was one of the hardest things to deal with in my life. I've always lived with at least one other person. So for me, it was all new. And it took a lot of time to adjust. I did a lot of work on myself, but I slowly got through it. It gets easier and easier as time goes by. It's not easy, but it does get easier. And my friends told me this when I went through this process. And of course, you roll your eyes and go, yeah, sure, you're not in my situation. But some of my friends have been in that situation. So I had to learn to accept and take their advice. There's an old saying that time heals everything, and it's true. Some events take longer than others, but it does happen. It doesn't mean it starts to hurt. It doesn't mean that it ends the loneliness, but it does get better. Even if you can't see it at this point in time, I promise you. I was fighting life in my current reality and not accepting the fact that this is where I am. And this is something that I kind of knew it will teach me over time. It taught me about building resilience. And it helped me, loneliness isn't a sign of a weakness either. It's simply your heart adjusting to a new reality. So when I stopped fighting it and instead allowed myself to feel it, to journal it, talk about it, and even cry through it, hey, we're all human, you start to heal. So I stopped seeing loneliness as an enemy and started seeing it as a teacher. And it showed me what mattered most, which is connection, love, and purpose. We are all on this journey together. And this leads me on to topic number 2, which is building strength and resilience. The second step was building this resilience from my core. And after divorce, life changes dramatically. Suddenly you're in a different house with a different routine. You shop at a different supermarket. You go to a different gym. You see different neighbors. And if you're like me, you don't see your kids every day anymore. Every time I closed the door behind me, I felt this bad emptiness. It felt so hard. It was so hard. And it would have been easy to spiral down into bitterness, into a deep depression. But this is where the mindset comes in. And I made a decision. I wasn't going to let the separation define me who I was. In fact, it was the best thing we could have done because we just fought and I didn't want my kids to see that. I was going to rebuild myself stronger. So I worked on my body. I would go to the gym every day, sometimes twice, because there's a gym. I actually live in between 3 gyms, all in the space of 300 or 400 meters of each other. 3 of them. So I had no excuse. They're all 24 hours. And I also worked on my mindset and I worked on my habits. I started small daily walks, reading personal development books, listening to uplifting podcasts, And slowly these little habits stacked up and gave me strength. And when I hit setbacks, because there were many, I reminded myself that resilience isn't about not ever struggling. It's about refusing to stay down. If you feel yourself starting to go down, do something. Go for a walk, go for a drive, go to the gym, listen to something. And every time you do this, you build a little bit of confidence. I used to congratulate myself for being stoic, and this is something that many people forget to do. You've got to remind yourself that you are strong and you'll get through this, and you'll gain the respect of other people around you. So focus on your daily routines. Build simple, repeatable habits that lift your mind and body. It's so important. Exercise is very important. Even if you're not into exercise, go for a walk. Go to the gym if you possibly can. Do anything that's worth getting your heartbeat up and taking your mind off things. Start to eat well. Learn something new. Progress builds momentum, and momentum will carry you forward when motivation is gone. And this leads me on to topic number 3, which is creating a new future with meaning. And because here's the truth, your old life, well, it's gone. Anything from now on, everything's gone. You can't dwell on the past, but your future isn't written yet. And for a while, I lived in the shadow of what I had lost. But eventually I had to ask myself, what do I want to become now? What kind of father do I want my sons to see? Who do I want my kids to aspire to? What kind of person do I want to be in the next chapter of my life? And that shift, that changed everything. I started putting my energy into things that gave me meaning. I spent quality time with my boys when I had them, which is every second weekend. Made sure that they were loved and supported. And I pursued new opportunities, new hobbies, and new connections. And slowly, life does get better. It starts to feel less like something that happened to me and more like something I was actively creating. The loneliness did not vanish, especially at night times, but it transformed. It became space to grow, to reflect, and to design a new version of myself. And that's available to everybody going through something similar. So set a vision for yourself, even if it's small at first. Decide what you want to become. Create goals around health, fatherhood, motherhood, career, and have fun. Try to have fun. Even if you don't feel like it, just smile, go and have a swim. Because when you're moving towards something, you stop looking backwards. If you're feeling lonely right now and it feels unbearable, hear me out. It will not last forever. Accept it. Embrace it. Be calm with it. You will start to build your inner strength and create a new future. It's not easy, but it is possible. I know because I've lived it. Not seeing my sons every day still hurts, but I'm stronger now and more focused and more helpful than I've ever been. And you can be too. So to everyone watching this, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up because this pain will pass, even if you can't see it at this point in time. And what you choose to do with it will shape the rest of your life. So keep moving forward. Your best days are still ahead of you. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. They are still ahead of you. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as it helps me out a ton. And if you know someone who would benefit from watching this, please share it, as it's something that I would have liked to have watched when I was going through my tough times. Also join my free school community. It will be going up in price soon, so please join it if you'd like some more insights. Thanks for watching. Peace out. See you in the next video.